Hello there and welcome to my Facebook page. I want to run EastEnders. Back in 2013, quite a few friends on Twitter and Facebook, online friends as we would call them, used to listen to me and read all my posts complaining about the state of EastEnders. So all these lovely people set me a task. They set me a task to come up with a concept for EastEnders that would satisfy me. So I thought, why not? So I thought to myself, how do you make EastEnders, take it to a genre, to give it a feel like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, but giving it a contemporary feel in modern day East End of London? So I came up with this idea that the residents of Walford would be in the middle of a crime war. Different crime gangs, organised crime, battling for power of Walford, and it being a way of life for people. But not just that, for them to see erupt for the first time. A gunfight, knife fights, everything on that opening moment when all these crime gangs physically and visibly invade Walford, leaving many residents of Albert Square injured and killed. That was my concept. That's still my concept that I'm shopping about and trying to plug all the time. I love it. Yes, even though I came up with it, I love it. I want to talk to you about my EastEnders fiction. Now, this concept I've called Black Widow because it's all about Chrissy Watts planning all of this from prison and stirring it all up. Now, a lot of my EastEnders fiction is surrounded in this concept. Now, part of that concept is that Mick Carter discovers that Dennis Watts is his father. No, not Buster, not Stan. From the start, when Danny Dyer took the role, I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to say that this is Dirty Den's illegitimate son, a big secret. But even bigger than that, that Den was kind of secretly and silently, from the background, preparing Mick for the crime war because he always knew it was coming. Another idea of mine is to say Elaine, who I find a very tiresome, boring, annoying character. With Elaine, because she's a very good actress, by the way, my plan for Elaine actually is to say that she is the puppet master. She got Mick and Linda together. She knew Dennis Watts was really Mick's father. She sees him as a threat, so she's going to keep her enemy, her friends close, but her enemy even closer. So that's the idea, and she's manipulated Linda into helping her run this big thing. It's her who's in charge of the invasion of all the crime gangs and the invasion and the crime war. She's behind it all. And what happens is that Mick is contacted by Jan, Den's ex-lover, who's extremely old now. I hope she's still alive. But she's contacted and she supplies him with all these audio tapes that Den made for Mick all through his life when he was growing up. Now, of course, Den was in the background. He never met him. But even in the children's home, Mick begins to remember a tall figure always standing in the background on Visitors' Day. So he now knows that Den was always watching over him from the background. So all these tapes, so you just imagine it, right, if we could, if my concept for EastEnders was actually on the telly, and if we could persuade Leslie Grantham to record his voice so Mick could listen to his words of wisdom now and again. Now, of course, Dirty Den was a bastard. He was a womanizer. But the way he left EastEnders, they kind of made him like this creepy old man, pervy kind of figure. That's not Dirty Den. Dirty Den, might be his nickname, but he's a clever man. He's an intelligent man. He's a wheeler dealer. Yes, he sleeps with married women. He does bad things. He hurts people. But he also loved his daughter Sharon, even though he hurt her as well. He loved her. But to Mick was always the one he saw his redemption with. That's the way I look at it. So this is the part of it. So to Den, Mick was always going to be the solution to the coming crime war, which pits him up against Chrissy Watts, who has planned the whole thing from her prison cell and has used her contacts to get her an early release from jail. Now, another member of this crime war is Aaron Wilmot Brown, which I've said to you loads of times before, and he's running his own crime gang as well. So while this big battle, this battle for power of Walford's going on, the residents have to live with it, and they have to decide if they're going to fight or just hide or leave. The problem is they can't just leave Walford, because a lot of the times Chrissy Watts has made sure that people cannot leave. There is no police anymore, there's no government, there's no council. She's in charge of everything. Elaine's made sure of it. So there is no escape from Walford. Now this seems rather far-fetched, doesn't it? How could EastEnders be about this? First of all, I think it'll be exciting, compelling. It's about evolving a show, making something different. It's time for the scope of what a soap is to change, whether we like it or not. EastEnders has been damaged by a lot of people who just don't understand it. I do understand EastEnders. I want to keep the soapy stories, but put them in the backdrop on the show. So the main thing is this crime war. So you've always got material to deal with. So not like what Dominic Treadwell-Collins is doing, where he has a wonderful October to February, but then from February to about September, October, we're kind of pulling our hair out. I haven't got any because I shaved it off, by the way, but I'm just saying I'll bang our heads on our TV screens. It's not good enough. EastEnders hasn't been a great, epic, powerful show for many years, and that's what it used to be. All I ever hear now is, should we bring that one back? Let's bring that one back, because they can't even develop interesting characters. I'm talking about reworking the show. It's not starting again, it's not a reboot, but we just changed the scope of what EastEnders is. Now, people have said to me, what you're planning, what you're suggesting won't work. That's what they said when Phil Redmond was charged in changing Emmerdale. And he changed Emmerdale forever, and it's still going strongly now. And even beating EastEnders when it comes up against EastEnders. This week they're going to do a fabulous rewind episode, which I can't wait to watch. And I'm sure a lot of you who also watch Emmerdale. So, that's my proposal. As I say, a lot of people said to me, oh, how can Mick be Den's son? Why would Shirley sleep with him? Look, there's ways of doing these things. The point is that this is what should have been done in the first place. Dominic Treadwell-Collins had a great opportunity to take an origin character of EastEnders and bestow it on the great Danny Dyer and give him some meat in the sandwich to deal with. When I watch the Carters, I'm bored. They're like the Cockney Waltons. That's not what I want to see on EastEnders, and that's not what many people want to see on EastEnders. This is what I think. This is what I think should be done. Now, I want to quickly talk about what happened last night with the Christine thing, and then Les. We basically know he dresses up as a woman. I think that was brilliant, by the way. I thought that was wonderful. It's a great issue for EastEnders to deal with. It's the kind, do I want EastEnders dealing with issues like this? Well, it always used to, and this is something the show hasn't dealt with personally. We've seen it on Hollyoaks before, but we haven't seen it done like this on EastEnders. It's a great issue to deal with because people feel uncomfortable about it, and they're the issues that you should be dealing with. So I'm very excited by this. I'm very excited by the kind of October and onwards storylines. But we all know, once we come to February again, it will be all fillers, drag-outs, and dragging us out to October. That's not how you should be running a show. So whatever happens from October to February, I'm not going to start saying, oh yeah, EastEnders is brilliant. I'm not needed then. Yes, it sounds arrogant. I want to run EastEnders. I can't actually run EastEnders because I have no experience in the industry, but I want to consult on it. I want someone like Oliver Kent, who runs both Casualty and Holby, both hospital dramas, to be like this in a Godfather role, while me and some other people kind of construct the stories and construct the future for EastEnders. Now, it's never happened in the history before, a fan being involved in a soap, but I'm no ordinary fan. I've been watching TV, soaps, movies since I was 10 years old, maybe even younger. It is seeped in me. My heart pumps for it, and I've pretty much got a good idea what works and what doesn't work. I will keep on pushing for this, battling for the soul of EastEnders, because I think it's important. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.